Good afternoon. This is Prabhakar Reddy, and we are here to discuss about the TET paper 2 science content and pedagogy. To discuss with me, two more subject experts are there here, Mamata PGT physical science and Vasundhara PGT physical science. Mamata deals with physics and Vasundhara deals with chemistry. Okay. Generally, all the TET aspirants and the Tsat lovers, already you heard about the notification and the syllabus. See here about the examination pattern about this slide. So, please show the slide. Here 2.5 hours examination, as you know very well, and this is about the content and pedagogy marks distribution. For this, for mathematics and science, total 60 marks are there, 60 multiple choice questions. In these mathematics and science having 30 questions. In these 30 questions, 24 questions about content and 6 questions about pedagogy. In these 24 questions, particularly 12 questions came from biology, 6 questions from physics and 6 questions from chemistry. So, each and every topic and each and every content is very important, either it is physics, chemistry or biology, all are very important. And see here. So, what are the syllabus is there in the TET science content. So, this is the actual syllabus. Total 17 headings are there in the science content. In these 10 contents belonging to physical science, that means physics and chemistry, and 11th 17th belongs to the biological science. Let us discuss the biological science content one by one in brief and in detail. Generally, science. What about science? Science is an organized study of knowledge. As you know, so many abbreviations are there, so many definitions are there, so many constructive approaches are there. So, here why science? What is the importance of science? For the individual approach and for the societal approach, science is very much important. Here science and technology plays a key role in the growth and development of any one society, an individual or society, any nation also. So, next we see this one, what is the importance of biology? As we know, geneticists, plant scientists and zoologists all are research are working on this issue. What is this issue? Growing population is a major issue to the world, all over the countries. For this growing population, the enough food supplies are required. All the food content, as we know, they came from plants and animals. So, for this purpose, the biology deals with the living organisms, plants and animals. So, biological science, dealing with biological science is very much important to get the required food contents for the growing population. And see here, this is about the what is the need. First of all, classification. Classification of plants, animals and their characters. Classification makes our study more focused and help us in handle the population of organisms. See here, so much of diversity in there in the universe. To discuss about the diversity, to focus on the diversity, we must require the qualification. Sorry, we must require the classification, not qualification. So, here what are the major characteristics when we are focusing while dealing with the classification? Only 3 characters are there. Those are whether they are prokaryotic or eukaryotic. It means even though they are unicellular organisms or multicellular organisms, in the unicellular, prokaryotic means without the nucleus, eukaryotic means presence of a nucleus. And one more thing is there, either they are living with solitarily or in colonies, second character. And the third character is there, whether they prepare food or not. For example, in the living organisms, both we deals with plants and animals. Plants, they may able to prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. But animals, for example, like human beings, we are unable to prepare our food. We are dependent upon so many things for our food content. So these three characters plays an important role while doing the classification. There are so many types of classifications are there. We take a type of classification, Linnaeus type of classification, Bentham and Hooker system of classification. So many systems or classifications are there. You must focus on the types of classification, the person who did this classification, and moreover, for example, you take the Whittaker classification. Whittaker classified the total living organisms only in 5 groups: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. In Plantae and Animalia, of course, some other subgroups are there. And about the classification, Indian scientists also before did this some classifications. Charaka and Susruta, Parashara are the main persons of the Indian scientists who done the classification earlier. And these are the some of the classifications which we are following now in our country. So each and everyone classifies in their own way. And nomenclature. In the previous papers also, they asked one question about the nomenclature. This is binomial nomenclature. Each and every living organism having a scientific name, this scientific name having 2 words. First one, genus, and the second one is species. For example, what is the scientific name of our human beings? Homo sapiens. So this binomial nomenclature first introduced by the Linnaeus. This is about the plants classification. Plants are classified into 2 categories. One is cryptogams, second one is phanerogams. What is cryptogams? Cryptogams are the non-flowering plants. These non-flowering cryptogams classified into 3 categories. One is Thallophyta, second one is Bryophyta, third one is Pteridophyta. Thallophyta again classified into 2 categories. One is algae and second one is fungi. Why? Thallophyta means undifferentiated plant body groups. But this Thallophyta divided into autotrophic algae and heterotrophic fungi. Bryophytes, differentiated plant body is there. Pteridophytes, first plants with vascular tissue. All these are thallophytes, bryophytes and pteridophytes are the cryptogams. About the phanerogams, they are the flowering plants, seed bearing plants. These phanerogams again classified into 2. One is gymnosperms and the angiosperms. In the gymnosperms, fruits are absent but seeds are present. Naked seeds plants, they may call as naked seed plants. The angiosperms, the seeds are covered with the fruiting layer or the overall cover. So these angiosperms again classified into monocotyledons and dicotyledons. In the monocotyledons only one cotyledon is there, like our cereals, maize, jawar, bajra, rice. Dicotyledons, in each and every seed 2 cotyledons are there, like our mango, neem, etc. etc. Okay, this is about the classification of plants. Next we go for animals. Animals classification, they classified into broadly 2 categories: non-chordata and chordata. What is non-chordata? In this, chordate or skeletal system is absent in non-chordates. These non-chordates again classified into 9 phylums: Protozoa, unicellular, porifera, having pores throughout their body, Coelenterata, hydra-like living organisms with 2-layered body, Platyhelminthes. What about the Platyhelminthes? Flat worms. Nematohelminthes, round worms. And Annelida, like our earthworms. Arthropoda, segmented and jointed legs insects. All the insect population comes under arthropoda. And mollusca, having shell. Generally they are living in the aquatic nature. These living organisms have a shell, like our pearl oysters. Like next, Echinodermata, last 9th phylum in the non-chordates. What about Echinodermata? Like starfish. These 9 phylums comes under non-chordates. What about the chordates? Chordates are the living organisms with skeletal system. They are classified into 5 groups. One is fishes. They are also called as fishes, only living in the aquatic nature. Next, amphibians, like frogs. They may be able to live on the water and in the ground also. Next, reptiles, like snakes, lizards, etc. Next, aves or birds. They can able to fly with their wings and feathers. Last one, mammals. The living organisms able to give young ones, directly birth to give young ones. So these chordate having 5 groups. These are the classification in depth about the animal classification. You go for monoblastic, diploblastic and triploblastic animals are there according to their evolution also. And here the classification about chordata of 5 groups, like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. You focus on these 5 items. Next, you go for the fundamental organization of the cell. As we know, cell is the structural and functional unit of life. See here, the first one is the plant cell and second one is the animal cell. As we know, plant cell and animal cell, there is so many differences in between the plant cell and the animal cell. What is the major differences are there? First one, plant cell surrounded by a fixed cell wall. Cell wall is present only in the plants, not in the animals. Second one, plastids. 3 types of plastids are there. Green chloroplast, colored chromoplast, white alluron plasts. These 3 types of plastids, for example, you are observing green color chloroplast there. So these chloroplasts present only in the plants and not in the animal cells. And the fixed big vacuole present in the plant cell, not in the animal cells. So like this, some major differences are there. Rest of all cell organelles are equal in the plant cell and animal cell. Nucleus is there in the plant cell and animal cell. And this plasma membrane, same. Nucleus. The cells with the nucleus are called as eukaryotic, and the cells without the nucleus, it means the nuclear membrane is absent, that is called as prokaryotic. Endoplasmic reticulum is where endoplasmic reticulum having 2 types. One is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, next one is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Here Golgi complex, which is meant for secretion. Mitochondria, this is the powerhouse of the cell, which may related with the respiration. Some questions asked like this: the plant, the green plants able to perform photosynthesis, and which cell organelle related to this process or this phenomena? Ultimately, obviously, that is chloroplasts. Next, cell divisions. See here, cell cycle is there. Major portion G1, gap 1, gap 2, synthesis phase, and M phase means mitotic phase and division phase. So in the gap 1, the cell size and the contents are increased. In the S phase, synthesis phase, only DNA replication takes place, and in the G2, the chromatids, they prepare chromosomes, and in the M phase, mitosis or division phase, that is. This is prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. In mitosis, 4 phases are there. Of course, in the meiosis, in the prophase, So many subphases are there: leptotene, pacatine, zygotine, diakinesis, like subphases are there. So this is about the plant tissues. In plants, 4 types of tissues are there: meristematic tissues, dermal tissues, ground tissues, and vascular tissue. See here meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue is present in the growing regions. Again, on the base of location, these meristematic tissue again divided into 3 types: apical meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue, and intercalary meristematic tissue. This is the dermal tissue, having like covers throughout the plant body like our skin, in which stomata are present. This is the ground tissue. 3 types of tissue are there: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Of course, these are the types of parenchyma. Parenchyma having green chloroplasts, that is called as chlorenchyma. Parenchyma having air spaces, that is called as irenchyma. Parenchyma which store the food material, that is storage tissue. And this is vascular tissue. This is for conduction of the food materials and water. Water conducts through xylem and food materials conducts through phloem. And these are the animal tissues. 4 types of animal tissues are there: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. These are the some types of epithelial tissue, and these are the connective tissue. Connective tissue connects one organ to other organ, like our skin to muscles, like our muscles to bones, bones to blood, like this. 7 types of connective tissues are there. One is areolar tissue and adipose tissue, bone, cartilage, tendon, here ligament, and blood. In these 7 types of connective tissue, only blood is the tissue present in the liquid state. And these are the muscular tissue: striated, non-striated, and cardiac muscle. As we know, cardiac muscle, they are separate and distinct, branched. This is the nervous tissue. And the neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous tissue. In this neuron, 2 parts are there: cyton and axon. Cyton is the cell body, axon is the long portion. Next we go for plant parts. Generally in the EVS also, plants and animals parts, plants and animals products are there. So here root, stem, and leaves are called as vegetative parts. Roots, stem, and leaves. The reproduction takes place by the vegetative parts are called as vegetative propagation. And particularly leaf, when we go for taking the leaf, separate venation. A separate arrangement of veins are called venation. They may meant for conduction of the water and the transportation of food materials. So venation is of 2 types. When you are observing on the screen, this is reticulate venation. Reticulate venation means it is having a network-like structure. This is the reticulate venation. See here, this is parallel. Veins are parallel to each other. Generally, reticulate venation present in the dicot plants like neem, banyan tree, like our mango, and parallel venation present only in monocot plants like grasses, bamboo, sugarcane, like this. So this is about the stomata, like our this is meant for gaseous exchange in plants. Leaves having one more function, that is transpiration. The previous examination, one question is there. We will discuss later about the questions. How the water transport to the top of the tall trees. Some distractors are there. Options say 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. That is transpiration. Because of the transpiration, the water reaches to the highest level in the all tall plants. And this is about the stem. This carries food materials. Different types of stems are there, weak and strong and creepers. So many types of stems are there. These are the modified stems. Even though ginger, turmeric and potato, even though they appears in the underground, they are also modified stems. Because of having nodes on their body, we may easily recognize them are the modified stems. Flowers are meant for sexual reproduction. In the flower, 4 floral parts are there: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx protects the flower in bud condition. Corolla is meant for attraction. Whom to attract? It attracts insects. It attracts insects with color, size and shape and by nectar also. Androecium is the male reproductive part. Gynoecium is the female reproductive part. These are some types of fruits are formed in from the ovary. And this is about the seed dispersion. Some seeds are dispersed through air. Some seeds are dispersed through water. Some seeds are dispersed through some other animals and human beings also. Some seeds are dispersed according to their mechanical breakdown of their capsules. Some seeds are dispersed by the birds also. This is about the fiber to fabric. Here, how the plant fibers are meant in the fabric. This is about the reproduction in plants. So many topics are there in the reproduction in plants. Vegetative reproduction, it means naturally and artificially. Vegetative parts also takes place by the reproduction. And this is spore formation and sporophyll in the ferns. This is about the sexual reproduction. Generally, male and female gametes fusion takes place. That is called fertilization. So pollination leads to the fertilization. Fertilization leads to the seeds turns into ovules turns into seeds. Ovary turns into fruit. And this is about the types of reproduction in a brief chart. This is about the photosynthesis. Generally in the green parts, photosynthesis takes place. This is the internal structure of the leaf and the chloroplasts which are responsible for the green color. In the grana, light phase takes place. In the stroma, dark phase takes place in the photosynthesis. These are the photosynthesis, essential factors and the end products. Light is required, chlorophyll is required and of course inbuilt in the plants, and the CO2, carbon dioxide is required. What are the end products? Starch and oxygen are the end products in the photosynthesis. And one more, this is about the excretion. In the excretion of the plants, particularly here 2 terms or some vocabulary here we describe here: primary metabolites and the secondary metabolites. Plants produce 2 types of products. One is they are used for their growth and development. They are called as primary metabolites like starch, proteins, etc. and etc. And next one, secondary metabolites. They are not useful products for the plants, but even though separation of the waste material is there in plants, but there is no disposal. So because of this reason, plants set aside in the form of some other forms. Those are called as alkaloids, tannins, resins, gums, latex in the form of these secondary metabolites. So one more thing is respiration in the plants. As we discussed earlier, stomata are present in the leaves, lenticels present on the stems. In some marshy areas and mangrove areas, some aerial roots are there. They are meant for respiration in the plants. So like this, you may focus on the systems. In the animal world also, digestive system is there, respiratory system, circulatory system and excretory system, nervous system or coordination, reproductive system. Like this, all systems are there. You may see here about some examples of questions. See on the screen. First one, the cell organelle which helps in manufacturing of lipids. What is the cell organelle? See the distractors. Golgi complex, chloroplast, smooth endoplasmic reticulum and mitochondria. Generally, smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the answer. See here carefully. If you don't know the answer also, you just follow some elimination theory. Golgi complex meant for secretion, chloroplast meant for photosynthesis, and mitochondria powerhouse of the cell respiration. So automatically you will find the answer. One more question. The stage of mitosis in which chromosomes are aligned at the equatorial plane of the cell. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. Particularly you are aware of chromosomes all present at the equatorial plane at the metaphasic plate. So that is metaphase. Water reaches top of the tall trees due to the phenomenon. This is last asked questions. Transpiration is the answer. Edema is related with. Edema, as you know, when you travel a long journey in the buses, well, foot will swells. We feel some type of swellings. That is called as edema. This is related with lymphatic system. See, the distractor options are similar, nearby looking. Identify the odd disease based on the group of causative agents. See here very clear. All the diseases are there. Typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis and swine flu. So what is the difference? Typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, TB caused by the bacteria. Only swine flu caused by the virus. So virus is the answer. Swine flu. See here one more question. These are called microscopic policemen. Erythrocyte means RBC, blood platelets, nothing, neutrophils and monocytes. Neutrophils are the answer. Like this, so many questions are there in the previously asked questions. You may hear about these questions. So this is about the portion of biology which you focus on. Now let us discuss about the physical science content. First we deal with physics. Mamta madam, what are the contents are there in the physics, and let's explain about the physics content.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. As a part of today's orientation program, I deal with physics contents. There are mainly 5 contents. The first content is natural resources. In that mainly we see air pollution, water pollution, and in that hardness of water, and this hardness of water means we can see due to the presence of some calcium, magnesium, bicarbonates and chlorides, the water gets hardness. So simply we have a temporary and permanent hardness. Temporary hardness we can remove by boiling, and in this we see the air pollution. Some principles are there which are related to this natural resources are Archimedes Principle, Pascal's law, Bernoulli's law. In Archimedes Principle, so that is the famous principle which we have learned previously. That principle mainly say about when we immerse a body in the fluids, that experiences some upthrust, which is exactly equal to the amount of liquid which is replaced. And here we see the hydrometer barometer. These are the scientific instruments which we use to meter, and barometer is there which we use to measure the atmospheric pressure, and fluid mechanics also there. That is the study of fluid behaviors. Like fluids means gases, liquids, blood and plasmas. And the second subtopic is our universe. In that we can see the eclipses, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, constellation. So in solar eclipse we see the the moon comes in between the earth and sun, and we get some shadow on the earth, and lunar eclipse means the earth comes in between the sun and moon, and the constellation means a group of stars which forms a some organized shape. And here we can see the satellites, artificial satellites. Nowadays we are using in many purposes like communication system and navigation purpose, and stars, comets, earth. See, these are the some of the subtopics of our universe. Next, coming to the natural phenomena. This is the important topic. The persons who are preparing for the TET examination, that is the first subtopic in this is light, which is very by scoring many marks, more marks, we have to concentrate on this light chapter. In this we have two properties of light, that is reflection and refraction of light. Refraction and reflection of light, and in this reflection the mirrors, in mirrors we can see the property of, that is reflection. In lens are useful to see the property of diffraction. And one more subtopic is dispersion of light. Here some previous questions are there which are related to light, we will see that. So, sir, can you show that light?
Slide akkada chudandi.
So, we will see the question which is related to the light. So, here we can see one question, previous question, which is they are given in 2012 in searchlights. Searchlights are headlights vehicles, headlights of vehicles, the electric bulb is placed. So, this kind of question we can see at the focus of the reflector. The electric bulb should be focused at the focus of the reflector, then we will get the parallel beam of light. So, the parallel beam of light we can see the far objects by using the searchlights. And one more subtopic is sound and heat. So, from this also we can get questions. Next, coming to the mechanics. In mechanics, these are of two types, kinematics and dynamics. From this also we may get the questions, but most we have to concentrate on electricity and magnetism. In this magnetism, we have natural magnets, artificial magnets. That this electricity, electric circuit. In this we have two types of circuits, parallel circuit, parallel connection and series connections. Electric current having some effects. There are three types of effects, that is heating effect, chemical effect, and one more is magnetic effect. This magnetic effect is more important. Based on that we have one chapter in our 10th class. So, this electricity we are studying from 6th class onwards. The simple circuits we study. So, while preparing the TET we have to concentrate basics onwards, means when you are preparing for electricity you must go through from 6th class to 10th class. So, in 6th class we have this chapter, direct in 10th class we have, and based on that we have electromagnetism also. The magnetism chapter is also there in the 6th class, and again we will get in the 10th class. So, mostly when we observe the previous questions of TET, TS TET, we got many questions based on this. So, we will see one question based on this, which is asked in 2012. The electric current is flown through a metallic conductor, the electric current is due to. We know that the electric current means the flow of charges per unit time through the cross sectional area. So, this we are getting the current because of the flow of electrons. Here the correct option is electrons, flow of electrons only. So, this is one more question which is related to the electricity. We got it previously in 2012. The question is the electric resistance of two resistors when connected is a parallel is 4 ohms. If the value of one resistor is 6 ohms, then the value of the another resistor is. So, this we know that in household circuits, in household electric devices are arranged, means in the parallel connection. In this parallel connection the voltage is same, but the current is having different paths with various electric circuits, electric devices. So, here we have the question, by applying the parallel connection 1 by R equivalent is equals to individual, the reciprocal of individual resistance of resistors, that is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. If we apply the numericals, here we will get the answer is 12 ohms. So, this is like this numerical problems also we get in our TET, TS TET. Then we come to one more previous question, sir. This is the lens which can form real and virtual image in air is biconvex lens. Biconvex lens, here when we are preparing the light, you can correlate with the mirror and lens. So, in mirror we have two types of mirrors, concave and convex. In lens also we have 5 various types of lenses. Among those, 2 are very important, convex and concave. In that plano-convex and biconvex lens are there. In this we see, when we are talking about the mirrors, the concave mirror means we have to correlate the uses and daily life uses of mirrors like a concave and convex, we have to correlate. And when you come to the lenses, concave mirror is having the more properties similar with the convex lens actually. Here the convex lens, in case of convex lens, by keeping the object at various distances, we will get the real image. Whenever we are keeping the object below, means less than focal point, then we will get the virtual image also. So, by from this we can say that the concave lens, by using the convex lens, we can observe both real and virtual image. Next, some questions we are getting when we observe the previous previous question papers of TS TET, we are getting the questions from electromagnetism also. In electromagnetism, mainly we see magnetic field induction. Based on that, we are getting, when we are keeping the current carrying conductor in magnetic field that experiences some force, that force is equals to F is equals to BLV sin theta, BIL sin theta. So, by using this formula we can see, we can do this kind of problems which is placed on the screen, that is the force acting on a 5 meters long conductor when 2 ampere electric current flows through it and 4 Tesla magnetic field observed at 30 degrees angle with the conductor is. This question was asked in 2016 TS TET. So, by using the formula what I said before, F is equals to BIL sin theta, in that F is force acting on a conductor and B is magnetic field induction and I is current passing through the conductor and the L is the length of the conductor which we placed in the magnetic field, and the sin theta, whenever we cannot place every time the perpendicular, if the wire moves with some angles, we can use the angle sin theta here. So, by applying this we will get the 20 newtons is the answer. Next. So, while doing the questions in physics part, you have to take care of your numerical problems also, because you may get the questions in case of physics, you may get the questions in numerical. So, while doing that you get some confusion, that you have to focus on more on the numerical problems in physics.
Okay, madam, well explained during the short period. Even though the basics are there in 6th and 7th, 8th classes, but you may focus up to 10th class and beyond 10th also. Why? Because you must focus on the textbooks prescribed by the Telangana state government. So, light, heat, sound, magnetism, mirrors, lenses, all these you may focus on the basic issues and you may study up to the 10th class topics. So, next we will discuss about the chemistry, content and pedagogy, and Vasundhara madam, please explain what are the contents are there in the chemistry syllabus in detail and brief.
Thank you, sir. So, in chemistry content, as sir told, we have 6 questions out of 30 questions in content, chemistry content. So, we will discuss the major topics which was given in the syllabus. Let us discuss one by one. First one is matter around us. we know that matter, everything in our universe having mass and occupies space is called matter. So, matter is classified into different types. So, first, based on the properties of matter, matter is classified into three types: solids, liquids and gases. So, let us discuss one by one properties. When coming to the shape, solid have definite shape and liquid has the shape of container, gases does not have definite shape. When coming to the volume, solids have definite volume, liquids also have definite volume and gases does not have definite volume. When coming to the compressibility property, solids are less compressible and liquids are more compressible than solids and less compressible than gases, and gases, when coming to the gases are more compressible. So, based on the compressibility principle, gases are stored in cylinder. So, we used LPG cylinders, CNG cylinders in our daily life. This is based on the compressibility principle. Next very important property is diffusion properties. What is meant by diffusion property? Movement of particle from one place to another place is called as diffusion. Okay. So, this property, how it is there in solids, liquids and gases. In solids, diffusion is very less. When coming to liquids, this is more diffused when compared to solids and less diffused when compared to gases. When coming to gases, gases are more diffused. Okay. So, this is about the properties based on properties of matter, classification based on properties of matter. So, when coming to the diffusion property, the gases which have less molecular weight is more diffused. For example, if you take NH3 gas and HCl gas, out of NH3 and HCl, which is more diffused and why? NH3 has less molecular weight when compared to HCl gas. That is why NH3 is more diffused when compared to HCl gas. These type of questions we may expect in this examination. Next, when coming to the purity, concept of purity, we should divide the matter into two types, that is pure substances and mixtures. Pure substances, the substances whose everything is composition is same throughout the substance. Next, when mixture, when two or more components added and which are physically separable, not chemically reacted, this type of substances are called mixtures. Mixtures are again classified into homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous mixtures, composition is same throughout the mixture. Heterogeneous mixtures, composition is not same throughout the mixtures. So, for example, what is the example for homogeneous and what is the example for heterogeneous? Homogeneous mixtures, better example is salt and water. So, if you sip any spoon from the salt water, it has same taste throughout the liquid, throughout the solution. So, this is example for homogeneous mixture. When coming to heterogeneous mixtures, so heterogeneous mixtures, heterogeneous mixture means composition is not same throughout the mixture. Next, these homogeneous, heterogeneous are again classified into colloidal solutions and suspensions and solutions, true solutions, colloidal solutions and suspensions. So, next, another important topic there in our syllabus is how to separate the mixtures. So, we have different separation techniques for different types of mixtures. So, let us discuss one by one about the separation techniques. First, sublimation techniques. First of all, we should define what is sublimation. Conversion of a solid into directly gas is called as sublimation techniques. So, this is used to separate one of the substance is sublimate, another is not sublimate. We should separate the mixtures of this kind by using sublimation technique. For example, camphor and salt. Here camphor is a sublimate and salt is not a sublimate. Both are in white color and both are solid. So, we cannot separate physically. So, we can separate by using sublimation technique. Next technique is chromatography. So, ink ink is made up of different dyes, different colored dyes. So, we should separate different colored pigments by using paper chromatography. Next, distillation techniques. So, when boiling point differences are there, we should use this type of techniques, the distillation techniques. In distillation also, two types of distillations are there, simple distillation and fractional distillation. Next, so we may expect a question from this sublimation techniques. When the mixture is immiscible mixture, immiscible liquids, we should separate by using separating funnel. For example, oil and water. Oil and water both are immiscible. We can separate by using separating funnel. Next, if the liquids are miscible, we should use a distillation and fractional distillation techniques. Next topic is fibers. We have different kinds of fibers, natural fibers and artificial fibers or synthetic fibers. Natural fibers, example cotton, silk, which are available from natural resources, like cotton is available from cotton seeds and silk is available, we can get the silk from silkworms. Next, artificial fibers. We have different types of artificial fibers. The fibers which are made up by man is called artificial fibers. Fibers, in artificial fibers we have different types: nylon, rayon, acrylic and polyester. Okay. So, next we may expect a question from this area, synthetic fibers, nylon, rayon and acrylic and polyesters. Next, plastics. Plastic, types of plastics are there, thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastics which are molded easily while heating is called thermoplastics. Thermosetting plastics, thermosetting which are not molded easily on heating is called thermosetting plastic. So, we have examples on it. Next, when coming to the very important topic, acids, bases and salt neutralization. This topic has more weightage in previous TET examination, we may expect in this examination also. Acids, the substance which can produce H plus ions in aqueous solution is called acids. The substance which can produce OH minus ions is called base. So, in acids, bases and salts, what type of questions are we may expect? So, from pH concept from past 2 years 2016, when you see 2016 and 2017 paper, so questions are from pH concept. So, arrange the increasing order of their pH values and what is a pOH value is given, how to find out the pH value, slide, pH value, pH plus pOH is equals to 14. See that question number. Yes. So, when pH and pOH values are given, pH value is given, how to calculate pOH value, when pOH value is given, how to calculate pH value. pH plus pOH is equals to 14. So, in that question we have pOH value, that is 8.64. So, how to calculate pH value? So, by using the equation pH plus pOH is equals to 14. pOH value is given, pH is equals to 14 minus pOH value. We may get 5 point around. Option D is the correct answer for that. Next, when coming to neutralization topic, what are the products obtained in neutralization process? Salt and water. When coming to the chemical properties of acids and bases, which gas is evolved when acid reacts with metal and which gas is evolved when acid reacts with metal carbonates and non-metal carbonates. When coming to the metals and non-metals, we have physical properties and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. We have different physical properties like sonority, ductility, heat conductivity for metals. We have different chemical properties for metals, and uses of metals and non-metals we have to discuss, we have to learn. Next, when coming to coal and petroleum and combustion fuels and flame, we didn't get any question from previous TET papers, but we may expect in this examination. So, do not neglect it. Coal and petroleum, combustion fuels and flame, and types of combustion, temperature of combustion and calorific value. So, we should more focus on calorific value and ignition temperature. When coming to the laws of chemical combination and chemical calculations, we have different laws on chemical combination, law of conservation of mass and law of multiple proportion, law of constant proportion. When coming to the chemical reactions, we have different types of chemical reactions: chemical combination, chemical displacement, chemical decomposition, single displacement reaction and double displacement reactions, and we have some problems based on the balancing equation by mass-mass relationship or mass-volume relationship or volume-volume relationship. Next, when coming to the atomic structure, this is the main topic in chemistry: atoms, molecules and elements. What is meant by atom, what is meant by molecule and what is meant by element. When coming to atomicity and valency, what is atomicity? Combining capacity of same element is called atomicity. For example, oxygen is available in O2 form. What is the atomicity of oxygen? 2 oxygens are there. So, they are 2, atomicity of oxygen is 2. Next, what is meant by valency? When coming to the valency, combining capacity of one atom with another atom is called valency of an atom. Next, when coming to the different models of an atom: Rutherford model, J.J. Thomson model and Bohr's model of an atom. Thomson model of an atom, it is also called watermelon model of an atom or plum pudding model of an atom or rice pudding model of an atom. Rutherford model of an atom, it is called planetary model of an atom. Next, very important model, Bohr's model of an atom. Bohr's model of an atom. According to the Bohr's model, electrons are revolved around the nucleus in a certain fixed path that are called orbits. So, orbit concept was introduced by Niels Bohr. Next, when coming to the isotopes, what are isotopes? For hydrogen, hydrogen is available in 3 isotopical forms: protium, tritium and deuterium. Next, when coming to the periodic classification, when coming to electronic configuration, quantum numbers and electronic configuration. Quantum numbers, we have 4 quantum numbers: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, also called subsidiary quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. Quantum numbers, we should what is the use of quantum numbers? We should address the electron in a orbital. Next, when coming to the periodic classification, we should more focus on periodic properties like atomic radius, ionization energy, electron affinity and electronegativity. And when coming to the different classifications, Dauber-Nier classification, Mendeleev classification, modern periodic table, so we should more focus on it. In this, we may expect a definite question from this periodic classification, that is position of an element, like what is the group number, what is the period number, we should expect from this periodic classification definitely. Next point, metallurgy. So, in metallurgy, different simple questions like what is the ore of aluminium, what is the ore of what galena is, what galena is a ore of which element, like that questions. Next, extraction techniques. We have 3 types of extraction steps in extraction, so we should expect a question from that. Next, methods of extractions of metals, we have 3 methods: concentration or dressing, extraction of crude metal and purification of crude metal. In extraction of metals, where they may ask based on the activity series. Activity series is the main important topic in the metallurgy. We should get more focus on it. So, my suggestion is to study 8th to intermediate textbooks of our Telugu Academy is best enough for preparation of chemistry topic for our TET examination. Thank you.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
Very good, madam. Vasundhara madam clearly explained about the what is the content present in the science syllabus dealing with the chemistry, and what are the previous questions asked in the chemistry, and what are the possible questions which may be asked in your examinations. Very good, madam. And one more thing is there, in the science syllabus 24 marks for content and 6 marks for pedagogy. In the pedagogy in general, we may discuss about academic standards, CCE type of evaluation and methods of teaching. About the academic standards, as in the science 7 academic standards are there. The type of summative assessment we are taking under 6 heads, like conceptual understanding, asking questions and hypotheses, experiments and field investigations, information skills and projects, communication through drawing and modeling, appreciation, values, biodiversity, application of daily life, like so many 7 academic standards are there according to our syllabus. So, about the methods, Vasundhara madam, can you explain about the teaching methods of science, any one or two?
I am explaining about science.
Okay.
So, science laboratory, it is one of the topic in our pedagogy. So, science laboratory is the place where we should do a practical work. It is based on the learning by doing principle. Okay. Laboratories are classified into 3 types. Plans was given by different persons. Dr. R.H. Whitehouse classification plan is given, and UNESCO plan is there, and multi-purpose laboratory is there. We should more focus on dimensions of the laboratory. That is expected question from this academic this 2022 TET examination from dimensions. Next, what are the registers? Registers maintained in the laboratory, science laboratory. Breakable register, stock register, consumable register, and issue register, and order register, and requirement registers are there. How to maintain that records also we should learn. And one more important topic is common accidents and their preventions. So, while doing in a chemistry laboratory, we have so many accidents may happen. So, for each accident we have one solution. For example, if acid is spills in our eye, we should wash it with water or 1% Na2CO3 solution. By using that, we can treat the acid burns to eye. Next, if it is phosphorus burn, already this question was given in 2016 examination. So, how to treat for phosphorus burns? Phosphorus burns are treated with water, first washing with water, or treated with a silver nitrate solution. Okay. This type of questions may ask. Suppose if unknown nature of substance is consumed. So, what is the antidote? Antidote for that, we should use antidote.
Well done madam. And in the pedagogy, one more thing is there, that is assessment and evaluation. Here we are using continuous comprehensive evaluation. In this, we are following 2 types of assessments, formative assessment and the summative assessment. In the formative assessment, in the science, we are using 4 tools: lab activity record, written items consisting what they are doing, they must be written, and the project works, project based learning also we are introduced, and 4th one is a slip test. So, these 4 tools are there in the formative assessment, and in the summative assessment based on the academic standards. In the summative assessment, types of questions are also different, like 1 word answers are there, 2 marks questions are all there, short answer questions, like long answer or essay type questions are also there, and multiple choice questions are also there. So, 4 types of questions are asked in the summative type of assessment on the basis of academic standards. So, aspirants, be prepared on the content. Madam Vasundhara madam and Mamta madam clearly stated that even though the basics are there in the 6th, 7th and 8th classes, you must focus not only on the basics, you must focus on the up to 10th class, and you perfectly observe about the textbooks, and you may aware of the previous question papers, how the questions are asked in the previous question papers. Generally, you know the content, but whenever the options A, B, C, D or the distractors are similar, it means not similar, as they are closely related, you may confused. So, only one solution is there, you may clear cut learn about the content clearly through the textbooks, then only you will know the answer. and then only you will achieve in the TET examinations. So, this is about the science content paper 2 in brief. See the contents and the pedagogy, and this is for your information. Thanks. Thanking you, TSAT.
Thank you.
All the best. All the best.